But now we are here. I'm back in the game. And I'm actually going to start now, even though it's midnight. And I'm probably only going to play for like an hour at most. But, you know, get through a couple of chapters, cut them together, throw them up on the YouTube. That's the way it is. So here's the intro. Hey there, guys and gals. My name is Sir Duncan of the Round Table, and tonight, midnight, September the 8th, dating the video, I'm going to be playing Fire Emblem 7, also known as Rekka no Ken, also known as Fire Emblem the Blazing Sword. And the reason I'm playing this is because I don't know, I just got back into this old GBA Fire Emblem mood. It happens sometimes, it comes and goes. You know, I was into Call of Cthulhu, and it doesn't matter. Point is, we're here, we're on the title screen, scrolling through all the characters. I should probably click something so it goes back to, there we go, it's back on the title screen. And like I said, today, people, I'm going to play an Ironman. What an Ironman means is that if a character dies, you can't reset, which I think was, in some cases, actually how Fire Emblem games were designed originally. You kind of go through, you know, do things a little, you're probably going to get things wrong the first couple times you do it. You're not expecting it to be perfect. And then, you might lose a couple people, and then you go back through and you try the second time and you don't lose anybody. At least that's what I think. But who knows? What do I know? I don't know jack squat. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying this. I'm going to be playing on Lin hard mode, and that's all there is to it. I don't have a webcam tonight because my webcam was really dark, and I can't be bothered to fix it right now. But in the future, I'll probably have some kind of webcam. But anyways, let's get all that out of the way, and let's get going. I know Lin is like considered baby mode, and even the hard mode, Lin is still considered like a pretty baby mode. And that's fine, you know, that's fine. I get it. I'm not gonna disagree. I'm very bad at these games, so, you know, I'm not expecting to do spectacularly, but I am expecting, I want to do December for the lightning and mail, and let's get going. But, you know, sometimes I get a little jumbled, sometimes my thoughts get a little lost, but point of the matter is, Iron Man, if a character dies, you reset. If your lord dies, that's the end of the run. And it's all about trying to get through as much of it as possible. So I'm going to skip this intro because it takes for frickin' ever. Basically, main character of this mode, Lin, shows up, talks about how we're sleeping. My name's Sir Dunk. There's bandits, so stay close to her. And just going to do some changes here. I'll turn that off. Turn that off. And for Lin mode, I always change it to green because I'm, you know, a total loser like that. Alright, so let's take a look at the people that we got here. We got Bada the Beast. He's pretty similar to his normal mode counterpart. He's not really any sort of real threat. I mean, Lin's made of paper, so he can kill her, I think, in 2 hits. So you gotta use a vulnerary unless he doesn't hit. And then there's this brigand here. It's a pretty simple map, not much to the top or the bottom. But with all that said, it's time to take a look at our first character in this game. Not just our first character, ladies and gentlemen, but our first lord. So I think, let me see, how do I do this? So do that, and then whoosh, comes right across. Boy, oh boy, before that was real painful. But I got it all fixed now, and it looks so great. Look at this. I spent all day working on this. Don't tell anybody. So you look at her stats, you look at her base stats, you look at her growth rates. Lin is the definition, well, so to speak. I mean, maybe not the definition, but she's kind of a glass cannon. At first, she has very low strength, and she'll continue to kind of have low strength. 40% is a decent strength growth. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not too bad either. But her skill, her speed, and her luck will help her to pretty much avoid enemies and hit them with high critical attacks for loads of damage. She's like a Myrmidon kind of level lord. By just the virtue of being a lord, she's one of those characters that you can't let die, otherwise you're screwed, and then that's the end of the run. She doesn't promote in Lyn mode, so it's not really important. Support partners are also not really important because you can't support in Lyn mode. Because any character you have in Lyn mode shows up again when you do the next 20 chapters of the game. So, looking at this, she's got really high speed, really high skill, decent strength growth. Her defenses are going to be really thin, but she really shouldn't be like taking hits anyway. So I think it's a tough one. You know, it's a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10 right there for Lyn. You know, on my scale, 1 is the lowest you can go, maybe a 0.5. 0 is impossibly bad. So 1 would be a unit with 0 utility. You never want to use them. There's no reason to ever field them on a map. Then a 9 would be a character who is integral. Like, you have to have them on your team. They're so good that if you don't use them, you're being an idiot. And then 5 is perfectly average. A unit that isn't bad, so you can bring them if you want, but isn't that good, so if you need to leave them behind, that's the case. I'm sure that I'm rating Lyn a little bit higher than other people would, but you know, to be honest, I like her. I think she's fun, even if she's a little bit weak. And I need her for Lyn mode, so not much I can do about that. Anyways, back to the game. Just gonna move Lyn into this area here. Oops. Gonna let the guy get close. Yeah, I figured. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I don't want to let him, I want to let him attack me, because if I go after him myself, and he hits me with his 39% hit chance, then that's it for Lyn. She did. And we simply cannot have that. Cannot have that. Luckily, Bata does not move. So I'm just going to quickly clean up this guy. Get some juicy experience. And then we're going to move on over to Bata the Beast. Well known for being a beast because his friends call him the Beast. For savagery, I suppose. Like I was saying earlier, him dealing 10 damage with a 40% hit rate means that if Lyn were to get hit, she'd be dead. So I'm probably going to be using these vulneries that she's got in her possession here. She's got 2 whole vulneries to heal her up after his attacks, should he happen to hit. So let's settle down right here. What do you think? You can stand at the bottom of the beast? Easily one of the best characters in Fire Emblem history right there. Dang it. I know it's only a 1% crit chance, but you know, if Lyn could just do what she does in normal mode and get that guaranteed crit, this whole chapter would get over a lot faster. But she ain't gonna do that because that's it's scripted. Luckily though, Bata has missed all of his attacks, so we can just finish him off on the very next turn. The chances of Lyn missing 293s in a row is very low, even without calculating something called true hit in, which it's not that complicated, but it's basically just a secondary calculation they do. It's our first level up of the Ironman. What are we gonna get? Oh, strength and resistance! Oh, this is looking good. She didn't get any speed, but she's already got a high enough speed as is, so we don't really need that. So Bata is a little harder than that bandit over here, despite not having much higher stats, because he's sitting on a gate. Gives him 2 defense and 20 avoid. You can see it down there in the corner. But that's the end of the chapter. Time for us to head home, back to our little hut. Oof. Had a good night. Went straight to sleep. She wants to talk to me. Experience with war, yeah. You know, I've got little things, and then I happen to be an asshole and say, you need to get permission from your parents, because I guess she's a teenager. I mean, who knows how old Mark is? It's tragic, really. Her parents died. She's so young. She left. Shed no more tears. ... Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. Ellipses is one of the things that this game loves the most. Loves ellipses. So we're going to go, I guess, train with her, travel, and, I don't know, I guess we're just going to go out on our own. I'll be your peerless warrior. I can think of quite a few units who might be your peer. And I'd think that some might even suggest that in the very next chapter, we're going to be getting 2 units who are more than your equal. Unbeknownst to Lynn, she will discover something that will alter her life forever. It's that she's the grandson of the leader of the Lycian, of the Kalen faction of the Lycian Alliance, and that her great-uncle Lundgren is attempting to kill her. Oh, my heart, what a dazzling vision of loveliness. Oh, there he is. It's the boy himself. Sane, our lord and master. And Lynn is quite an ass to this guy, but he's also kind of a douche, so I mean, it's a cat fight, really. Thank goodness we got Kent here to kind of rein him in, because otherwise he's a wild mare. Oh man, my metaphors are just terrible. Oof. Although, of course, in the end, Kent might actually end up marrying Lynn. I mean, she probably won't, but, you know, it's a possibility. There's definitely that unrequited love sort of bedaggling. These men are out for blood. Hehe, aren't you pretty raw? Who knows Lynn? Is it not? Well, you know, it is. My name isn't. I love, like, if you don't make a tactician, I don't think anybody's here for these scenes. But it just kind of becomes funny to me to imagine that Lynn is like, I'm cowering behind Lynn as she's talking to this dude. Oh no, there's more that I can handle, but I'll not give up. Thank goodness we've got our 2 wonderful cavaliers to save us, so to speak. They're not really going to save us that much, but, you know, it's whatever. Got 2 guys, Red Knight, Green Knight. That's all that matters. They'll be able to move over the terrain. I'm not quite super familiar with, like, rescue strats, but I've been hearing a lot about rescue strats lately. Some YouTube videos I've been watching. It's apparently something that makes these guys pretty good, and their movement makes them very useful. So, of course, Lynn, keeping her with us. Still got all 6 vulneraries. Pretty happy about that. Unfortunately, in hard mode, we don't get the little scene where Kent gives Sane his iron sword. So Sane's going to be stuck with this lance for a little while unless I trade him a sword from Kent or Lynn. But it's okay, because lances are better than swords anyway. So more might. Still hit pretty good, so it's good stuff. But I guess I should probably talk about one of these 2 cavaliers, and let's go in alphabetical order, starting with my boy Sane. Oh, sorry, that's not right. There we go. My boy Kent. So the thing about Kent that you gotta remember is that Kent is one of a pair of cavaliers, so it's impossible to talk about him without comparing him to Sane. And unfortunately, at base, Sane's actually a little bit more helpful. So I'm pretty sure Kent's got, you know, let me just look. I can always just look. Kent's got like a point more of speed, a little bit more skill. His defenses are a little bit better. No, his defenses are a little worse, actually. And he has D in swords, while Sane has D in lances. As a Cavalier, they get 7 move. They have pretty high con so that they can hold weapons, pick people up. But despite some pretty good growths all around for a Cavalier, 40 strength, it's the same as Lyn, 50 skill, 45 speed, and some solid defenses. His really low luck growth is going to hurt him in the long run. It's going to make it really hard for him to avoid. And I'm pretty sure that luck factors into the critical hit chance in this game. So it's going to be rough for him on that front too. So I'd say that, you know, it's kind of hard to give a specific rating to Kent versus Sane. But I think that Kent is definitely better than Lyn. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Bring, bring, bring. And then, of course, now it's time to talk about our boy Sane. Similar in a lot of ways, but he's got a much higher strength growth. Solid 20% more. And he already starts with more strength too. 2 more points of strength. Plus, he's got D in lances, which means he can use steel lances right off the bat. That's great when you are a Cavalier looking to run around and just hit somebody for a lot of damage. He's gonna fall behind a little bit in skill, but you can always patch that up with a secret book, and his skill is still going to be presentable enough, especially with the hit rate of lances, to be fairly decent. I think that normally in my playthroughs, I actually tend to like Kent more, because I like being able to double more regularly, it feels like. Even though their speed growths are very similar, I always feel like Kent gets more speed. But I think Sane's definitely better overall. I don't think he's good enough for me to put him up another point higher, but just know that it's like 7+ for Sane over Kent. And that's it for our 2 new little dudes here. So we better start to work on this chapter. So if you look up here, we got a brigand, a couple of brigands actually. We got this guy up here, another guy down here, another bozo over here. Pretty much all the same. Nothing too crazy about them. Very low defense, not a lot of speed. They won't be doubling anybody anytime soon. We've got all these forests too, which are great for avoid. So probably what I'm going to do here is, he's not sitting on a forest, right? So yeah, so I'm going to go over here, soften him up with Lyn. I mean, there's practically no chance of him hitting. Oh, well, I guess I won't soften him up then. I guess Lyn's just going to take him out. For some reason, my chat's just not loading. It's very annoying. Whatever. I don't think anybody's talking anyway, but if they were, sorry, I have yet to see your stuff. So I guess I'll send Sane along the top up here, and Kent's going to take the bottom range. This is a little bit of a spoiler, so to speak, but I'm hoping actually to get Kent up to at least, or whichever Cavalier I'm liking better in a couple of chapters. I'm going to start focusing on them, because I'd like to get them up to level 10 before the end of this little 10-11 chapter route, so that I can promote them with a Knight's Crest that we get from a character later on. You know, some people like to sell it for some reason. I think it's for like one of those like cash reward type things that you get at the end of the game. You get like tactician stars, but I've been really wanting to get like a paladin early on. You know, when I was a kid, most of my most recent playthroughs of these games, I tend to be the kind of person who levels my units all the way up to level 20 before promoting them, which is not the optimal strategy, to say the least. But you know, when you're looking at the game, you feel like that seems like the most optimal strategy. You know, they have 20 levels before promotion, they have 20 levels after promotion, so you should promote them all the way up, right? But no, that is not the case. You should definitely promote them sooner rather than later. Those promotion bonuses are huge, and you're not going to need those extra levels as much as you might think you do. I really want Sane to kill this guy, so I'm just going to have Lynn kind of come along the middle here. Oh, well, the bandit decided to suicide onto her anyway. Oh, my apologies. Decided to just bash his head against her for no reason. It's very frustrating. There was a guy with a lance up here that he could have easily taken out. I don't know how casual I want to make this playthrough, but I guess I'll real quick explain the weapon triangle. The way the weapon triangle works is swords are good against axes, axes are good against lances, and lances are good against swords. It gives you, I think, 10% hit and an extra 2 damage if you have weapon advantage, and the same goes in reverse for if you have weapon disadvantage. Generally, you want to attack at an advantage, but sometimes if you have a character with such a high hit, it doesn't matter. Oh, and that's right, I totally forgot. I was talking about true hit earlier, wasn't I? The way true hit works, as far as I'm aware, so please correct me in the comments or in the chat or whatever if I'm wrong, is that it takes both of your percentages. So right now, see, I have a 67% chance to hit. But instead of just rolling that percentage once to see if I hit, it rolls it twice, and it takes the average, I think, of those two results. So generally, you're going to have a higher chance to hit than what it says, or a lower chance if it's below 50. Sane's not doing so hot here, so I think I'm going to do some quick strats here. Give him an iron sword so that he can take out this bandit with no problem whatsoever. And then I'm going to have Kent come along the side here. I'm going to move Lindis around here. Sane is going to trade her iron sword back to her. And then we're going to have Kent move into this guy's range. Hoping to get Kent or Sane a level here. Trying to get them decently strong. Again, I'm not an expert by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I would say that I am the opposite of an expert, which is a next expert, a zext. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just saying garbage at this point. Talking out of my butt. But it's okay. I have a solid excuse, as in it's late. Give me a break. Didn't really want to use a vulnerary, but I would prefer for Sane to get this boss kill. So I'm hoping that this dude sees Sane with his axe and goes after... Yep, there we go. That's what I was hoping. Alright, Sane, hit. Yeah! This is a good start for our good old green buddy over here. Alright, good level up, good level up. Strength and speed, strength and speed. That's exactly what I was looking for. I mean, skill's nice too. And the resistance is nice too. But for a first level up, it's pretty solid. Yes. I always forget about this part of the Lyn mode. Lyn mode's a little boring. Some of the maps are some of my least favorite Fire Emblem maps. But it's always nice to see CGs like this. You know, these very well-made sprite-based pictures in the GBA system. I just think that's so fascinating. So here we're talking about the basic plot of this game. It's pretty simple. So Lyn's parents died 6 months ago. These two knights are here because Lyn's mother, her father, on his deathbed wished to make amends with his daughter from who he was estranged. But unfortunately, they died before he could get he could meet Lyn and meet her parents. And now he's dying of some mysterious illness. And so Lyn is going to travel with these knights to Kalen to see her grandfather. Little did she know that her great uncle Lundgren is trying to kill her because he is Scar from The Lion King. Spoilers. All he wants is the throne, and he's gonna do whatever the heck he can to kill Mufasa in some sort of backwater way. It's literally like everything. That's like everything that they're talking about here. This is probably even more like generic than the other story, but it's okay. You know, I think it's still fun. You know, and that's what I think is important about Fire Emblem games. Even Fire Emblem Three Houses, which just came out, its story isn't anything particularly special. It's not like Persona 5 or even some of the Phoenix Wright games, some of my personal favorite games, or like 999, where it really is dealing with different themes, or it's crafting this intricate story. I mean, it crafts great. The Fire Emblem games have always been great at building a believable and convincing world, but it's not necessarily like amazing storytelling, especially in some of the routes which sort of just end or have like awkward pacing near the end. I don't know why I got to that topic. I think I was like trying to like defend this game by criticizing Three Houses. I don't know how that happened. So we're gonna go to the Sacred Sword, pray for it. Of course, something's gonna go on here. I'll not give up the Manikati under divine protection. It cannot be removed from its place of rest. I am glass. The gods fear my name. My swordplay is peerless. And if I want the sword, then the sword I shall have. Oh no! Oh, he shoved him against the wall. A solid three spaces. But unfortunately, he cannot draw the sword from the scabbard because he is unworthy. Because his name is Glass. Who the heck names themselves Glass? So now he just decides in a fit of rage to destroy this shrine because he's a douchebag. That's all there is to it. But I mean, Glass, if you had a name like Glass, I'm sure you'd be pretty pissed off too. And of course, the wandering, adventuring, roving band of D&D adventurers we are, we decide we have to go and save everybody. So I think what I'm probably going to have is I'm going to have Kent Insane take the top side, try to get a couple more levels, and I'll have Lynn go down through this bottom tunnel to get another level or two. Oh, come on, Sane. Woo-hoo-hoo! Turning the odds to your favor. That's my boy. Classic, classic, classic. Hopefully, with the damage Sane just put on him, yeah, Kent will be able to kill this guy. It's not going to be enough for him to level up, but if he kills that brigand who's inside... Oh, no, it is enough for him to level up. You are not making a good case for me keeping you over Sane. I mean, I'm probably going to end up using both of you, but it really comes down to which one gets better level ups is the one who's going to get that Knight's Crest early on in this game. Because the whole point of doing this Ironman is to build up to an Elliewood hard mode. Ironman. I mean, of course, it'll be very easy because I'll have already trained up so many of the units here. Oh, second level up for Lynn. There we go. That's the speed we were missing. That's pretty much every stat that we didn't get on our last level up. This has been two pretty solid level ups for Lynn so far. I mean, nothing spectacular, but I'm pretty happy. So like I said, I'm going to have her take out, what is that? There's 3 guys along the bottom here. I might try to keep that last one for Kent Insane. Speaking of those guys, I am going to send Kent down here to hopefully clean up that guy on the last, that last bottom guy. Insane should take this guy out next turn, unless he misses. But so far, his aim has been remarkably good. So, there's that. I don't know what I'm saying. Jeez. Oh, Lord. It's the spirits in the air. They're calling to me, telling me to say strange things. You know, honestly, usually I have... My Kent always gets like a speed growth on his first level up. So for him to not get a speed growth on his first level up is kind of weird. Because now he can't double these guys in this area like he usually can. Some more experience for Sane. Gonna have Lynn go for the kill on this bandit. I think I'm just gonna have Kent stay where he is though. Well, I guess I can attack him. Doesn't really matter if he hits. He can't kill anyone. He's got no crit. And then I will take Sane up here to kill our boy Glass. Although I'm sure Kent will do some chip damage as well. Oh, for a second there I thought he was going to get hit by this bandit 3 times on a 45% chance. Boy, that would have been a real kick in the teeth for old Kent here. And there is the victory music. One of the most glorious soundtrack pieces of music you can ever hear. That's not even close to true. Oh, so, you know, something important to note just in general about this game, I totally forgot to mention this, is that the characters that die, with heavy air quotes, by the way, in the Lynn section, the first 11 Lynn chapters, 12 Lynn chapters, they don't die. They will still come back later in the game, which of course means that it's not really an... Are you freaking kidding me, Kent? You had an 80% chance to hit! This is why I'm dropping Kent. I tell you. What was it saying? Something about... Oh, yeah, so they don't really die. They'll come back later. And I know that I wasn't just completely oblivious to that fact. But my thought process was that I just won't reset now if they die, and it just means that they won't get any levels that they might have gotten throughout this little, oh boy, I'm loving missing on high hit chances. Well, I mean, I guess this is what I get for, playing a hard mode. If Sane hits, he'll still kill him, so there we go, buddy. That's what I like to see. Guess Glass ain't so peerless after all. He's got his peer right here. Insane. Glass insane. Glass stain. I mean, hey, can never go wrong with strength, but I think I might have liked a different kind of level up, to be honest. Ah, well. Win some, you lose some.